So, we are starting in Chelmorton today. Another lovely Peak District village. We have new characters in our Ethels hunt. A Marsden family. I think they're originally from Lancashire, they've got Anglo-Saxon heritage. They acquired Chelmorton Hall, sometimes called Town End Farm, from the Buxton family when Eleanor Buxton married Richard Marsden in 1715. Sorry women, you don't get to keep property. It's been in the Marsden family ever since. Just walking past Town End Barn. It's used as a meeting place for the fledgling Methodists religion, to the extent that in 1903 John Wesley, who was sort of the spiritual architect of Methodism in the UK, England, described the Marsden family as integral to his mission. And there you can see Chelmorton Hall. So the Marsden family made their money in cotton from the 16th century onwards. Now, I'm not here to besmirch anybody's good name, but there wasn't a massive amount of ethical cotton grown at that time period, and maybe made their money in cotton is a bit of a euphemism. Who am I to say? So there's no messing about today. Ethel number 1 is right there. We are all of 500 yards into this route. So I'm just on the edge of Chelmorton. You see St John the Baptist Church there. We're in a weird spot in the peaks in that we're midway between the light and dark peak. Just a mile or two in that direction you've got Black Edge, which is Millstone Grit, and we're currently on Limestone. So that church is a combination of the two. It's a bit of an unusual one in that the spire is millstone and the rest of the building is limestone. It claims to be the highest church in England that has a spire, which is a weird phraseology. So they're not saying that it's the highest spire in the country. They're saying it's the church with the highest spire. So we're 1,200 feet above sea level at the minute. Does that mean somewhere there's a spire that's very slightly taller than St John the Baptist? Maybe on some coast somewhere there's a 1,201 foot kind of Barad-dûr style castle that just pips it. Otherwise, why not just say it's the highest spire? So I've just switched to my microphone because it's quite windy up here. Two big kind of outcrops there, two big mounds. You might think that's natural. They're actually burial mounds. They're cairns marking a Neolithic grave. There's loads more on this hill. They're all over the place. It's unusually clustered with them. So we are Ethel number 1 of the day. 22 of the adventure. Chelmorton Low. Let's get a good look. Lovely view from up here. Buxton just behind me there, look. Check out last week's video for that. Takes the record for the fastest Ethel. Less than a mile in. Already ticked one off today. Chelmorton Low. So I'm just off the top of Chelmorton Low. There are my two burial mounds. You see the village down there. You can make out a bit better the kind of what's going on. It's a single street. The Chelmorton Hall is down the bottom end. Can't quite see it from here. You can kind of see coming out in perpendicular lines from both sides. There's really long, narrow fields. So that stems from medieval farming practices. They were actually small holdings. The lord of the manor, it wasn't the Marsden family at the time, it was the Buxton family, rented plots of land to tenant farmers, and they basically had to box off their areas, otherwise their neighbours would graze their cattle on their crops. It was open land, so you had right to roam, much like we do today, mainly. And the only way they could stop their crops being eaten was to build dry stone walls, and that's what they did. It's a very inefficient farming practice. That's why we don't do it today. The fields are too small for any kind of modern agriculture equipment. They had willpower and muscle. Hello, buddy. So where are we off to today then? Got two Ethels in very quick succession. Short walk today. Ethel number one, Chelmorton Low, just outside the village of Chelmorton. And Ethel number two, Slough Top. I'll let you decide how you pronounce that word. Just 4 miles today. It should be pretty quick. So my optimism about this being a short walk may have been premature, because whilst it is only 4 miles, I've got two 400 metre plus Ethels. So it's packing quite the punch. Have you ever seen Dalmatian lambs before? Look at those cutie pies. Oh, stay close to mummy. We are Ethel number 23, Slough Top. Also some kind of nuclear bunker or whatever that is. Let's have a look at what we've got from Slough Edge. Got Buxton down there. Just about make out Black Edge. And then coming a bit further out, Burbage Edge about there. Check out last week's video for more details. And parts of the peaks I've yet to explore in this direction. Let's just hope there is an Ethel out there somewhere. I don't know if you can make it out, but the sun dancing across that valley with the clouds, and it's absolutely spectacularly beautiful. So William Hill there as well. Go and check out that video. So I can tell I'm back in the White Peak. This is Taddington Moor. Very different to the moors I've been in recently. Very nice. So this is Five Wells Burial Chamber. It's actually quite a lot bigger than it looks. 20 metres across that goes, and it's filled in now, but it's actually paved. It's a cyst, it's crypt. So our friend Thomas Bateman first excavated this in 1846. He found 12 skeletons that showed sign of a process called excarnation, which basically means burial, but they strip all the flesh off before you put them in the ground. This was at a time when there were real predators in this country, and fresh meat was something that was hard to look past. Best to get rid of it. It's filled with a type of pottery called unstoneware, which is sometimes called stab and drag pottery. You basically carve the lip of bowls by stabbing them with a bone and dragging them into quite ornate shapes. It would have acted as a communal burial chamber for the entire of Chelmorton and Taddington. There we go. Here we are. That's Black Spring. Or, and here's how I know that the villagers of Chelmorton have got a sense of humour, Illy Willy Water. Sort of feels like the medieval equivalent of calling it Springy McSpringface. It comes off of Chelmorton Low and feeds. There used to be 7 troughs down the main street, and it fed out from those 7 troughs out onto the open lands outside of the village. It terminated in a basin which was about 15 feet across and acted as like a cistern for the rest of the overflow water that the villagers called Chelmorton Docks, despite the fact that we're 1,200 feet above sea level and there is no open water anywhere else in the vicinity. I like Chelmorton. So here's the one and only remaining trough that was fed by Illy Willy Water. Alas, no longer. The village now gets the water from Ladybower Reservoir by United Utilities or Trent Water or somebody like that. Shame.